Greetings everyone, welcome back to Paradigm Shift, revised tutorial for AI War 2 after all the rebalancing that's happened recently. And it's time to enter the mid-game. We actually did that a little bit at the end of the last episode. I generally consider the mid-game to have started when you can comfortably take a Mark V system. You're not ready to go into the core worlds or attack the homeworld yet, but you're able to move around the galaxy and do what you want to a certain extent. You're not boxed in. And so we've made that. But then, now what do we want to do? Well, we definitely want to avoid the temptation to just rush off and grab more stuff. We are up into Mark II AI territory, 103 AIP, and their wave strengths have increased to match. The last one, we're over here actually helping defend from it, and New Hogan was where it came in, was well over 50 strength. And you can see, most of our planets around the teens or 20 at the most. So we definitely need to upgrade those defenses. So one of the ways in which I'm going to do that is just when the AI increases a mark level, I like to get the next turret level. So we'll spend some science there. And we have, of course, pike turrets, as you always do on our planets. So we're going to boost that a level as well. So that will help. You can see our numbers shifting into the mid-30s. We're still not going to be on equal footing with invaders, but we'll be a lot better off. I want to put up some turrets for my battle station in this area around my homeworld. Start deploying those to help out there. And then I'm going to shift the fleet back over here, and I'll use it to defend these if necessary. So the reason I want to come back over here, first of all, is to deal with the neighboring systems from these two we just captured. Now this one isn't too bad. Mark II, Mark IV, and we had already cleared that one out, Mark III. I want to leave those up. But Parataxis has Mark V, Mark V, Mark V, and then a Mark IV here. I'll probably leave that one alone, but I definitely want to cleanse out these Mark Vs so they're not getting a bunch of reinforcements there. And so we definitely want to take care of securing our position before we get more aggressive. Here's what we've got going on the homeworld. The adjacent systems are quite similar in the turret setup. We've added plasma turret, a little bit larger, more expensive type. And they're good against bubble force fields, larger ships. Concussion turrets, they are good against lightly armored targets. Then we have the starting pike turrets, good against heavily armored targets. So we're attacking in a variety of different ways. Any enemy ships that come in here, most of them are going to be countered by at least one of those. Good to have that kind of variety. Then we have 355k left energy. Look at the note on the brownout. If you get your energy negative enough, you'll lose all your force fields for 2 minutes, and a lot of bad things can happen in that time. So I try to really be cautious with the energy and not allow that to happen. Now, we are getting 250k from each of our logistic commands. So if I can keep one planet's surplus, then I'm not going to have a brownout if I lose a system, something unexpected happens. So if we keep that as our goal, we've got about 100k to play with, not a lot, a little bit, but I'm going to leave it as it is for now. You can see we're not perhaps looking great on our defensive numbers here, but it's much better than it was. So in this direction, going and clearing out these Mark V systems. Victor X-Ray. Well, there's a dire Tethwita Guardian in here, and it's opposite side of the gravity well from where we would come in, so it would be zombifying us as we came across. I'd prefer to wait until this rotates along closer to this particular wormhole. Then, Das Vidania has Vampire Guardian, which is cloaked, not as dangerous. Of course, we don't know where it is because it's cloaked. But we could come in here anytime. The final system is the most dangerous, and because of that, I want to deal with it first. We've got a raid engine, an ION-I, an ion cannon, and also Dire Shredder Guardian is one of the more feared types. Their drones are quite high damage. As it says, very scary melee drones continuously. So, we can't deal with all of this at once. But my first target is the raid engine. Now, if you notice, it's going to spawn a large wave 2 seconds after we show up, and then additional ones every 2 minutes. So if you're doing a bunch of operations in here, we're just going to have more and more issues from it. I could just accept the waves and just clean out the system. I think it's going to take too long, so I want to get rid of the raid engine. Now, you can destroy it, 5 AI progress hit, that's not good. Or you can hack for about 15, roughly, in hacking costs. Sabotage hacking. I would prefer not to do that. That's about half of a system's hacking, whereas the AI progress hit is only about a quarter, so doing the math on that, I'm going to stick with going and destroying it. So if we pop our fleet in here and go after the raid engine first, now we're going to free up a whole bunch of threat. You can see it's at 80 now. That number's going to get quite higher. We're going to hit this wave. There's nothing that we can do about that. We just want to minimize the damage. So, raid engine. And you see the counter just disappeared up there. There's our AI progress. Now, this is the wave that it sent us. And it's not nearly as big as I would have expected. I think, I'm not sure, but I think that the raid engines are malfunctioning. And they're just not sending... It's supposed to be 50% higher than a normal wave. Instead of around 15 strength, I would have expected something more like 80. But in any case, if we look at the Ion Eye, they're invulnerable, as the tooltip notes, until you get down to 2 guard posts left. And so we can't even touch it now, even if we wanted to. They'll also activate if you have more strength than the enemy does on the system, and we are kind of in that scenario here where that's going to probably activate soon. So I want to knock out the ion cannon and then get out of here. We've at least gotten rid of a couple of problems. Yep, and there we go. So if we look at this, the alerted ion eye, and next, this is the best kind, because there can be Mark 7 eyes, and you can also have plasma eyes, which are worse than the ion ones. But if you look at where it says ionizing radiation, shots do 90% of the target's max health if you're lower than Mark 5 and have a low albedo. And it's actually multiplied if you're lower marks than that. It has essentially infinite range to cloaker. Add that to the invisibility, the area of effect, etc. It's not a lot of fun. They're not horrible, but we definitely don't want to hang out and let them cause us damage. So we're just going to escape. We're going to repair ourselves. And now we're going to pop back into the other planet. Now what I like to do for these types of situations is just shut off construction for the fleet. And the reason I'm doing that is so that we're, as the attrition goes, we don't eventually get larger numbers than the AI does on the planet. Now we also are going to want to do a couple other things. I'm going to destroy whatever drones I have in there. And then I want to get rid of some of these ships. We're going to get rid of the ambush carriers because I need to lower our strength to a level where we're not going to trigger the eye. That's the goal here. We'll get rid of Raptors, Pulsar tanks, Tesla Corvettes, and Spiders. Let's see what that puts us at. Okay, so about 80 strength for the fleet. And then we need to wait in here for this to deactivate. See, it's alerted. And doesn't shut itself off immediately, but it doesn't take too long. Okay. There we go. So now it's off again. And if we look in here, they have over 100 strength. So if we're coming in around 80, probably should be okay. Now, how are we doing on our shield here? It's only at half. I don't really like that. I want a little bit more. Let's send... Yeah, okay, you're already working on this, aren't you? Yeah, you're working on it. Okay, we're going to wait for this shield to come back up. Because I just don't want to get this thing crippled when we go in there. There we go. Now it's a little safer. So we're going to come in and start going after these guard posts. Come on. Oh, we're not actually hitting it, are we? There we go. Let's knock out this one. And this one. Okay, where are we at? 3 and 3. We have to knock out one more. So far, we're okay in terms of our strength. It's close, though. So we could tip over. I am going to... What else do I want to get rid of here? I don't want to get rid of the daggers. I'll get rid of... Not the stingrays. We've got a lot of those. I guess I'll take out the agravic pods. Didn't really lose a lot of our strength, but hopefully it would be enough. We're down to half on the shield. We want to knock out the Ion Eye now that Tooltip says it's vulnerable. There we go. And now we don't have to worry about the strength calculation. Our Hagira is looking... the shield's iffy. We definitely want to reactivate construction. Then everybody go after this Guardian. Come on. Take it down. We're almost done with the shield. But at the same time, we're almost done with the Guardian. That was a little bit tight. But we made it. And I don't want to go off at everything else. I just want to hang out in here and destroy all these enemies while our support fleet works on rebuilding our force. Because we do have the upper hand. But, the Hagira is just getting hit. Let me, in fact, withdraw. And they're chasing it. Still going down. Okay, now we may have evened it up. Because once you get down to a certain point, it will heal itself with the vampirism. Yeah, okay, now it's coming back up. So I want to be careful there. And we ended up making it through. Now, here comes back the shield. There we go. And why don't we just bring in our support fleet? And, again, I may not need to be this cautious. Let's just do it anyway. Let's get everybody repaired. And then, okay, well, now everybody's decided they're going to come out and play. Go ahead and go on pursuit here. Clear up whatever is left. And, you know, the fleet is starting to recover. And our shield is doing better. And we've got more support here, so. 1 million strength on the shield. We should be good. Let's start knocking out now some of these guard posts. So as strong as the Hagira shield is, we can see it's not invincible by any stretch. And we also got a bit of a picture of how strong that Shredder Guardian can be. So we want to just hang out in here, repair all of our ships. I'm actually going to retreat the support fleet back here. And then we'll move on to the next system. So we've basically reached the 1 hour mark. We have cleared out now all of these Mark V systems. We can look to more offensive operations. There's a number of things around here. One is, obviously it'd be nice to have more energy. We could throw up more turrets, acquire more things. A Zenith power generator over here. Now if we were to take this system though, it's pretty close to here. I'd probably need to take that system as well. Might be able to defend it from there, but it's kind of unlikely. Probably don't want to take this one, so I'm going to leave this alone for now, but it's a future possibility. We have a couple data centers. I'm definitely going to want to hit those as my next order of business here. Obviously, there's plenty more ARS around. FRS, I can hack those anytime I want to increase my force. I've got options to do that. I do want to hack this. The super terminal is down here. So if we're going to do that, and I probably should, then I should do it before I do a bunch of other hacking to limit the response. Another turret server down here. Another fleet, which is kind of, I could take it, I could leave it. Now, based on what we have explored now, we have just over half the galaxy explored. It's possible the AI homeworld is down here. It's unlikely. It's almost certainly somewhere on this right side of the map. There's another data center there. Botnet Golem. In terms of other things I might want to go after, we do have a tech vault, and I believe there's only one per galaxy of these now. And they've been changed somewhat. So you can see we could hack them to get disruptive, upgrade to those weapons, exotic upgrade, or logistical command upgrade. I would probably get the logistical command at this point. So that's possible. And by the way, I did hit distribution node over here, and I upped that second level of disruptive. So that's going to help us as well. So I think, like, we could consider the major data centers. We found both of them. This one down here, there's a bunch of wormholes connecting. You can see where it is. It's over here. Sealith would be a question mark, but I might be able to take this and hold it. And if I can, I really should. Like, that should be a serious consideration. I don't know what's out in these planets, though. It's a little bit of a concern. But, you know, this is within range. So I need to ponder whether or not I want to actually do that. There is a matter converter here. And then a turret schematic server. And this is a one-way in, which is nice and beneficial. This data center over here comes with another fleet. And it has spiders, so that would be decent. But it's right in the middle here. So I might be able to fend it off against these two directions, but I would definitely need to take, like, this system in order to make that happen. Of course, and again, I don't know what's there. Not going to commit to that yet. Another outguard over here, and if we look at those, we can see the new way that they work now. Make contact with outguard. Progress is 10, but you only get one of them, etc. So that upgrade is in there. Zenith Devourer Beacon, and they actually changed something with the Devourers recently, so I do want to show that later on in this game. And then, again, the Botnet Golem. If I'm going to hack the Super Terminal, I probably want to take at least one of these Citadels in order to do that. And if I do that, I'm going to be bordering a Mark 6, so I'll want to clear that out. So there's all these sorts of complications, but I think definitely my first priority is to come back over here, and we're going to do this now, and just hop in here and grab these two data centers. And I don't care about the other stuff in the system. We're probably going to release more threat. Oh well. I just want to get those and knock down my AI progress a bit. We're up to the point of about 70 strength waves, and if we can lower that... The other thing that you may not be aware of is that when it comes to the CPAs, which you get every 2 hours, cross-planet attacks, how much they get for those is based on your AI progress, but not just your AI progress at that time. It's based on it, how much it is each little bit of time during when it's building up. Like for the entire first 2 hours, literally every second or every minute or something like that, you're adding little bits to that CPA budget. So getting the AI progress reducers quickly matters actually quite a bit. So we definitely want to do this as soon as we can. And we are headed to grade 5. Okay, and they have Tritium Sniper Guardian. Okay, we're just going to take whatever punishment we are going to get and just head in there. And be a little careful and cautious here. Let me make sure my support fleet is... Okay. It is here, and I want it to be here to support us. And let's go ahead and head over this way. Yep, we're ticking off a bunch of people. Good for them. Data center, go away. There we go. Now we're back under 100. Nope, don't chase that. We are going to keep on moving now to Incredible. And the Thanatos arc is a nice arc. It can zombify even Guardians. But given that we already spent on the Roar Call Hagira, and I may want to get that botnet later, I'm just going to say, you know what? I don't want to get that one. Data centers here. And of course, this is a nice thing about having, one of the many nice things about having a nice big shield, is that we are going to be totally fine in terms of surviving all of this for the length of time. There we go. So we have now knocked out the 2 data centers. We're down to 71 AI progress, and since we can't reduce it below 70, we can't do much better than that. You can see our floor is now at 45. So now we have to ponder what to do down in this area. And I really do think that I want this major data center, but it wouldn't do me much good right now. Like, it only reduced the AI progress by 1. So this is now, I think, a later type of project. So that's going to shift my mindset to, okay, do we want to go after the super terminal? I think we do. Okay, what's the best way to approach that? You know, do I want... And I could try to range out here to this data center. Again, we're not going to lower it that much from where it is now. Probably not worth it. So, if we look at the turrets, we've got Tesla, grenade launcher, and then engineers that come with this one. And then ambush, spider, grenade, tachyon, and this is a paralysis citadel too, which is one of the stronger types. There's nothing wrong with a drainer, but I really want this. I mean, it would be good adjacency to have this right here be next to this. We could stretch out more this way. There's a whole bunch of reasons why I'd want to get there. And I can, it is within deep striking range. It is 4 hops away. So, I don't need to worry about these 2 systems. They're pretty weak. But Fromain is going to be the big deal. Can we pound our way through that? We are about to find out. We may need some outguard. Okay, we're set up to hit Fromain. For time considerations, I'm going to actually save that till the next episode. But I wanted to make sure I made a couple things clear here. We had another wave that we cleared out. I did bring my battle stations over here, put up some more of the concussion and plasma turrets. I want to make sure I see to my defense. If my fleet's way over here, I need some help here. I'm keeping the battle stations, though, actually located around the homeworld. Because if we lose these, not the worst thing in the world. We definitely, obviously, lose the homeworld and you lose. So you want to make sure you prioritize. Again, hitting the data centers to prioritize. And then with the super terminal, the hacking response is higher the more hacking that you spend. It's also higher the more AI progress that you have. And so lowering the AI progress by hacking the super terminal is sort of not necessary right now, obviously, since we're really close to the floor. But if we're going to do it, we're going to get the most bang for it now. So that's why I want to go that direction. Now, you can't conquer the system and then set up like a military command or whatever and then hack the super terminal. Because you conquer the system, the super terminal gets destroyed. So you want to go in with battle stations and citadels and things of that nature. And it's sort of, it's a very double-edged hack. A lot of people won't even do it on the higher end. I'm curious how, with all the rebalancing stuff that's happened, how this super terminal hack is going to shake out. But we will get to that next time. We're going to have to go through Fromain and get our citadel first. And that'll be coming up when AI War 2 returns. Till then, thanks for watching.